So this is a BTS of my new track, I Want To. Sounds a bit like this. Okay, so let's have a look what's in here. Let's start with the drums. So here are our drums. Kicks made up of a high click. Processing on the kick is... So always have gain match to hear what it sounds like with and without the processing. That's before the processing. That's after it. Soothe, just to clean up the low. Bit of compression, bit of transient to make the attack more. A little bit of EQ. That's quite a lot of EQ for me. So that's the kick. The little clip. The clip just has a cut on it. The click. Clap. Drum machine clap. And it's processing. Okay, I think that's comes just before the snare, if you can see down here. Just to give it that bit of that grabbiness, a bit of groove. So snare again here. And then a second clap actually. So snare processing, a bit of compression. I like to not layer all the snares and claps right on each other to give a bit more kind of groove and grabbiness. So a vocal effect. These are all from sounds.com actually, this one great pack. So whoosh, some bells, kind of hats, processing on that. Again, not a whole lot. I probably could have taken out a little bit of this low end, but I didn't. Sometimes you get a nice little dirt from the low end. Like normally you'd clear the space and do this, but yeah, I probably should have. Now a rim shot. We have one more percussion down the bottom here. And another one. Hat bus. And that's the crux of the drums. I don't normally, with a lot of my hats, I will go into pretty over the top patterns, but this one not so much because this is kind of a bit more straight down the line, a little bit less funky. But processing on the hat bus would be very simple. Just a low cut. The compressor's not engaged there. So there's a cool section I have in here that I really like, where I introduce one other drum kind of feature thing. You can see I really like the native instruments, choruses and flares and stuff. Probably anything I use by native instruments. That was just a kind of variation section. If you hear that section,
Let's go.
I can use it again over here. That's my drums. Let's have a listen to a big chunk of them together again. So there is some drum bus processing. Mr. Magic Gullfoss, the secret sauce. So it's probably just a bit of clarity in the, like around 250. Also to make room for the bass a little bit, and then just a little bit of harshness. A little bit of bump in the low end for the kick. And that's pretty much it. Let's hear what they sound like before processed. And so no pressing, no processing. After processing. Let's look at the other parts of the track. So our vocal cuts, which are quite simple. Again, I think these are from sounds.com, which is sounds.com is like native instrument splice.
Let's go.
Bit of delay.
Let's go.
A build in this build up section.
Let's go.
Just this section.
Let's go.
And then that's processing on the vocals. There quite a lot of processing on the vocals. Let's quickly look at that.
Let's go.
It's probably just more me trying to clear it up.
Let's go.
The tube compressor is like me getting just an extra. It's like Teletronics, like just getting a low ratio, but so you've already compressed the vocals quite a lot, and you're just trying to get a little bit more with a low ratio, a bit of like thickness. That's what everyone's there.
Let's go.
And there's Soothe doing the harsh thing though this time.
Let's go.
So you can see I've got to be crazy here to try and get it clear.
Let's go.
Now without the vocal processing.
Let's go. I want to. Let's go.
That's all the vocals. It's just 3 phrases pretty much. Next. So this whole song was essentially built out of this one sample I got. Let's have a listen to it. So you can see where I changed one note. I pitched one note down to make the melody a bit different. So it goes. You can hear the delay doesn't kind of line up, but I got that sample and I made the whole song around that sample. Here I pitched it up one. And then I also copied, I figured out the MIDI. So I could have another line on it. Interesting synth. I haven't used this CZ too much, but it's kind of cool and it's kind of easy to jump into, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I've used it a couple of times with this song. It was the first time I've ever used this Casio, or it's the old Casio, right? I think I use it this way because it's quite easy to take simple waveforms and like it says phase distort, but to create slightly more complex waveforms with it. But it doesn't go much further past that. So it was kind of cool. Like if you look at it here, yeah, it was quite simple to use. I liked it a lot. So I copied the lead. It all runs into one bus. So the processing on that bus, we've got sensed for the builds. Let's go reverb, delay, filter. Processing on that bus is Gullfoss group, cuts, soothe, always soothe. But this is like my own kind of soothe. But like, let's just make everything a bit nicer. So with and without the processing, it's mainly just a bit thicker. Just made it just a lot brighter, didn't I? So that's the lead bus. The whole song was made around that loop. So then I wrote some chords to it. I tend to write chords on guitar as well, but I wrote this progression here. And I used, I love all digital synths. Like I used to have a DX7, but I use a D50 in Roland Cloud because I just really like how Roland Cloud synth sounds, right? And I did the same progression on guitar. Most of the time I used a jazz chorus copy. For this time I might have wanted something a bit clearer because the jazz chorus copy amp, I think it's called Jazz something in here, the jazz amp. But this time I probably wanted something a bit grungier and cleaner because the jazz chorus one, I use it mainly because the chorus it sounds quite dreamy, but this one, the guitar, and this one's just slightly distorted. There's some stabs as well. So that was the guitars and the lead. There's all the sensor leads and my D50. The D50 has a little bit of like filtering on it, but that's about it. Just gave it a bit of extra width and cut some low end. That's about it. Now let's go down to the guitar. So again, I kind of went through the guitars, but just two kinds of strums in the guitar. I have a strum, and there's two kind of different strums and then a hit. Next, going to... This is where I took the bass. So the bass is another CZ. I just must have found some good presets on that day. So in this section of the song, I took the lead away that like the sample I got for the lead away, and I just made it in the bass line. But I kept the normal bass going as well. So this is the bass line. The bass bus processing. This was, I made room for the kick down here. This section here, I made the bass line a bit more simple and I made it play the melody, or the main lead. So you can see the lead up the top here. Now, apart from that, we just got a few little effects down here. Just for like kind of vibe, not so much for the drops. And that is the whole song.
Let's go.